Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new around here, my name is Mel and I just love to share everyday recipes that I make for my husband and I. Today we're going to be making 3 delicious chicken recipes that are all very easy to make, but still very flavorful, and I'm sure your family is going to love them. So let's go ahead and get started and I will show you how to make them. Starting off today, we're going to make this chicken Parmesan Stromboli. You will need to cook up some chicken tenders. I would say you need about 8 chicken tenders. However, some of these were small, so I went ahead and did, I think, 11 or 12. Bake those according to the package directions, and then once they're done, go ahead and chop them up. Now you'll be needing 1 can of pizza dough, so you'll just go ahead and add that onto some parchment paper and then stretch it out just a little bit. Once your dough is ready to go, then you can add on some pizza sauce. You're just going to add a little bit to the bottom of this, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 cup of pizza sauce. Spread the pizza sauce out just a little bit. You don't want to get too close to the edges and you want to kind of keep it in the center. Moving on to the cheese, we're going to use about 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. If you have more than that, I would add closer to 1/2 cup, but I was running a little low. So I went ahead and just added about 1/4 cup of Parmesan in there and then 1/2 cup of freshly shredded mozzarella cheese. Then you'll take your chicken tenders and add that on top. Try to spread those around a little bit and even them out. And then you will start pulling the dough over the top. What I did here was fold both sides over and then pinch the seam together the best I could. And then I moved on to the ends. I just kind of rolled them up slightly and then pinched them all together with the rest of the dough. Once the dough is all sealed, you'll go ahead and use the parchment paper to help you transfer this over to a greased baking sheet. Be sure to keep the seam side down. And then over the top, we're just going to take 1 beaten egg and cover that all over. Then before going into the oven, you will need to take a knife and just add some slits into the top. This is going to help it vent and cook more evenly. Add this into the oven and let this bake for around 18 to 20 minutes until it gets some nice color on it. Once it comes out of the oven, you're going to take some more of that pizza sauce and just add it over the top. In all honesty, you can add as much as you want to. You just want to make sure that it's completely covered and slightly dripping over the edges. Now this part, you don't necessarily have to do this, but it is a nice step to add some extra flavor. I'm just taking some garlic powder and some red pepper flakes and lightly sprinkling the top of my pizza sauce with them. Now to really finish this up, we're going to add some more cheese over the top. First, you're going to want to take your mozzarella cheese and cover that, I would say another 1/2 cup to a cup, just depending on how much you like. Followed by a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Again, you can add as much as you like. I would say about 1/4 cup at least, but you can add more if you want. Once again, this is an optional step. I like to sprinkle over some parsley on the top before putting it back in the oven just to add some color. Place this back in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, just long enough to melt the cheese. You can brown the cheese on the top if you want to, but this is what it'll look like when it comes out of the oven. This turns out so good. This is truly a very easy meal to make. It does not take a lot of effort, and this is very kid friendly. I personally don't have any kids, but I do have 5 younger siblings and my husband, who is also very picky, and I know they would all love this, and my husband especially loves this. It's very, very good. Next up, this is a favorite in our house. This Cajun chicken orzo is unbelievably good. To begin, I'm just taking half of a yellow onion and chopping that up pretty fine. And then I'm also taking 2 chicken breasts and cubing that up as well. Now moving over to my stovetop, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of avocado oil in here. Let that get nice and hot and then add in the onion that we chopped up, along with the 2 chicken breasts. Quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a stir to make sure nothing is sticking, and then I will add in 1.5 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning. If you are using a store-bought Cajun seasoning, they tend to be a little bit more salty, so just be careful with that. If you're using a homemade version, you can make them a little bit less salty. So I just want to make sure that you're aware that this can get over-salted very quickly if you're not careful. Then I'm also going to add in half a cup of chopped celery. Get this all mixed together and let this cook until the chicken is all the way cooked through. Next, add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic and let that cook for about another minute or so. Then you can add in 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Give this a good mix together, mix up that tomato paste in there, and then you're going to want to add in 1 cup of uncooked orzo with 1.5 cups of low sodium chicken broth. Let this simmer and let all of that orzo absorb that chicken broth until the orzo is nice and tender. This should not take too long. You do want to make sure that you're stirring every once in a while to ensure that the orzo is not sticking to the bottom. Once all the liquid is gone out of the pan, you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of frozen spinach, a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, and a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Give this just a few minutes to let everything warm through and let the cheese melt, and then this is ready to go. You can taste this and adjust the seasonings if needed if you want to add some more Cajun seasoning, or maybe you just want to add a little bit of salt and pepper. It's up to you. Like I said, this is one of our favorites. It is a little bit spicy, but that's just one of the reasons that we love it so much. So if you are making it for your family, just keep that in mind. And now we're going to make some shredded chicken taco salad. To begin, I'm going to get a pot of water boiling and add in 2 of these chicken bouillon cubes. Once those have dissolved and my water is boiling, I'm going to add in 2 large chicken breasts, add a lid, and let those cook until the chicken reaches at least 165 degrees. While the chicken's going, I'm going to go ahead and chop up half of a yellow onion. And then once the chicken is done, this won't take long, 10 to 15 minutes tops. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 forks and shred that chicken up. Now moving over to my stovetop again, I'm going to use the same pan. I just went ahead and removed all the water out of it. Add in about a tablespoon or so of avocado oil, let that heat up, and then now we're going to cook the onion in here. This should take about 8 to 10 minutes. You just want to get some color to the onion and make sure that the onion is tender. At that point, you can add your chicken back into the pan with 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans, a little bit of water, about a 1/4 cup, and then 1 package of chicken taco seasoning. Here's what my bowl of food looked like in the end. This is a very, very easy meal, very low effort. Of course, then you can add your chicken over some rice or lettuce, however you want to have it, and add any of the toppings that you would like avocado, chipotle sauce, hot sauce, sour cream, salsa, shredded cheese, any of your favorite taco toppings. Go ahead and add those on. Thank you all so much for watching and being here today. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to leave me a flower down in the comments below if you did make it all the way to the end of today's video. And I will see you back here on Wednesday for a new video. Bye!